Hello. Today I'd like to talk about sleep paralysis. Recently I met two girls. One is 20 and one is 19, and they both told me about sleep paralysis. They had this experience, and it was the most awful time of their lives. I didn't quite have this experience, but I'll tell you about my experience, and perhaps what I did might help those who have had sleep paralysis. So basically, what is sleep paralysis? From their stories, I understand that when they fall asleep or before they wake up, this stage between falling asleep and waking up, they start seeing things around them. One of them was seeing black shadows moving around. There was like someone on the cupboard watching her. The other one said also she's there and there are these things around and she cannot move. Both of them could not move. They are there. They say we are not asleep, but they cannot move. They cannot scream. They cannot open their mouths. They cannot move their body. They are absolutely paralyzed. And it's very, very scary. So I asked one of them, what's the purpose of these shadows? And her idea was to scare her. Okay. Um, they were actually really tormented by these experiences. One of them didn't want to go to sleep anymore. Another one got on medication, is still on medication that she refuses to take. And when they got tested, one of them got tested at the hospital when she had this sleep paralysis. And hospital devices, they didn't detect anything. They said, no, that's all normal. You were sleeping. I mean, it was all normal, nothing unusual. Yes, so our medicine is not quite there yet to help these people. Now, my thoughts about this. These two girls were into dark stuff at that time. They were teenagers and they had lots of negative thoughts. They were gothics. I don't know if that's a word in English. Like um, heavy makeup, black clothes, you know, this gothics. I don't know how to explain better. But the fact is that they also had lots of negativity in them, lots of bad thoughts. And thoughts are real. They they materialize. And in my opinion, my personal opinion, I really do not know, but I think they created them. When they read about this on the internet, they said these are demons. Well, there are no demons. Demons are our bad thoughts. Demons are created by us, and they eventually take shape and form. And then we become scared of them, and fear breeds fear and more negativity. And that there's like no way out. So this is what I think about that. Now, my experience, and I don't think it was a sleep paralysis, but who knows? And it wasn't when I was a teenager. It was now, maybe more than 5 years ago, before I started this spiritual path. I was sleeping in my bed, but I knew I was sleeping in my bed. So basically, I was just lying down, and there was like some presence around me. But that presence was like playing with my body, was doing everything it wanted with me, and I was just lying there, which is what I normally do when things like that happen. And I was like a toy to that spirit or whatever it was. And it was playing with me, tossing me around, and then at some point started pulling my hair like really hard. My scalp was in pain. I was in actual pain. So that was one night. The next night, the same thing happened. That someone was playing again with me, and I was just sleeping, lying down in my bed, wasn't moving, and that someone sat on me like with all its weight. And that was so heavy that I thought, that's it. That's the end of me. Now I will definitely die. And the thought that came to me, like the thing I started doing, which surprised even me, I started praying, Our Father. I started saying a prayer, Our Father, in Lithuanian, the way I remembered. I haven't said it for ages because yeah, I wasn't, into it anymore. And I started saying this prayer. As soon as I started saying this prayer, boom, that lifted off me and went away and never came back, ever. So my question, I guess, is why? Like, okay, so I banned religion from my life, and yet in these difficult moments, the prayer saved me. Not that I believe in prayer. So it can be that it connected me immediately to God. And this is how I was trained from childhood. Maybe that connection to God immediately was established when I started saying that prayer. If I was saying something else, like God save me, like my own prayer, that probably could have helped also. Because I think what's the most important thing here is to connect with the source, connect with God. And this is what saved me from this experience. And it was never repeated again. So all those people who have sleep paralysis, I know one of these girls I spoke with, she was showing the cross, the cross. When they were coming, she was just showing the cross, and they would like go further, go away, these shadows. I said, well, why did you do that? Where did you get this idea? She said, I saw it in a movie. Great, you see, that also helped. Um, and then I was also wondering why I never had this experience when I was a teenager. Because my house was full of entities, and there was some fear there, I guess. Uh, but I never had sleep paralysis. And my thoughts are that perhaps because my thoughts were actually pure, I was in love. Like, there was this boy that I fell in love with when I was maybe 7, and I loved through all my childhood. And every time I would go to sleep, I would think about him. Like, we never even spoke. He was the son of my piano teacher, and he was 4 years older. My goodness, I was 7, he was 11. That's scandalous. Like, I was a baby for him. And I would go to sleep and I would just think about him, and I would just be full of love. And love is a high vibration. Good thoughts are high vibrational thoughts. And perhaps that's the reason why I was saved, why I never had this bad experience, because I was always thinking about love. And so, my other advice for people who experience sleep paralysis is find a object, a love object. It can be a person, it can be a pet. Get yourself a kitten, they are so cute, or a puppy, and then just love them. And when something happens like this to you, just think about them. Think about them and think how much you love them. Fill your heart with love. And that's it. Love is the most powerful vibration there is in the universe. And that might also help. So here we go. I think I shared all my thoughts on the subject. If you are religious, prayers help. It connects you with God. If you're not that religious, be in love. Think about something you really love. It doesn't even have to be a living thing, it can be a place, it can be anything. Just find something that you really love. It can be an occupation, but just feel that love and you will always be fine. Thank you very much for listening. I'll see you next time.